There we go. Good evening, everybody. It's Feeding Dragon here, and today it's Friday. Yes, it's Friday. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I hope everybody's had a great day. We are going to go back to the bar. We're gonna head on and finish up what's going on and all that wonderful stuff. So let's see, where was I? Oh, that's the prologue. Load. It's been a while since we've done this. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna finish this. Wow, it's really been a while. February was the last. Wow. Wow, oh my god, it's been a long time. It can't be day 10. Wow. Okay, let's get back at this. Just for like kind of a relaxed night and whatnot. Electricity bill will be sent out after the 24th. Please make sure you have $8,000. Have a nice day. Okay. Wow. Dangerous opinions. Mikasi Risi. I think I've read all these a long time ago. Yeah. Nano Cannon Underwear. This one, I guess. The Augmented Eye. So before getting into this, just to bring everybody up to speed, basically I play this young lady here. She works at a bar. She has a cat that she pretends actually talks to her, which she actually doesn't. The best boss in the world is, you know, actually her boss, who happens to be a former wrestler type of person, I think. Nobody really knows what she is. And she has a coworker named Gil, who nobody really knows where he's from. He just showed up at the bar one night. Yeah. So that's basically where we're getting. We're basically just going through Christmas and making sure we have funds to do, you know, to pay rent and whatnot. But the bar is about to be forced to be closed, although we don't know exactly what is going to happen with it yet. So the Augmented Eye is basically like a rag newspaper. They kind of do weird stuff on it. So we'll start down here with the 66 American Kid Returns challenges. Basically, it's the wrestling. Ever since Giant Yusuke won the GSF belt, he's had nothing but negative responses from fans. Challenger after challenger. Tabloidish, yeah, like I said, rag magazine. Has tried to take away the title from the imposing giant, but nearly all of them were injured in the process. 66 American Kids surprised the GSF world by returning the action almost 4 months earlier than expected, and then challenging Giant Yusuke to the title match on January 4 at the Super Silver Thunderdome. This January, I'll become the champion GSF deserves, 66 American Kid proclaimed during a promotion in front of 25,000 fans in Kokoro Hall. Alright, new act proposes increased. Hello? There you go. We have nanomachines tracking people 24/7. However, due to violent protests that have taken place recently, Prime Minister Quincy is now proposing a new law that will allow the government to shut down anyone with nanomachines in their body using a pulse signal. Many people died during the protests, and that could have been avoided if we had more control over the masses. Quincy said during a parliament meeting, "We have the technology to simply shut down lawbreakers. It's a non-lethal way to end any kind of conflict, and it's common sense to use it at this point." When asked about the possible negative consequences, Quincy refused to make any further comments. We have friends that have bits in them. That would not be good. Kiramiki Encore concert. Fans of the famous cyber idol Kiramiki are in for a huge party, all thanks to the announcement of a second concert in Glitch City's Silver Thunder Superdome. "I'm so excited to extend my visit," declared the cyber idol. during an interview. Tickets are now up for sale and expected to disappear in a matter of minutes. Be quick. Secure your best spots. Can't actually click on those, unfortunately. Okay. Oh wait, I didn't even pay attention to what she kept saying about each one. Wish I knew more about wrestling. More nanomachines? It's all a smokescreen to divert attention. Good for her. Alright, no, we should... Oh, right, I don't need this on. Because the game has music. Which is safe to play. I hope. Thursday, December 22. Good evening. Are you okay? I feel like shit. You sure you should have come then? You're in all the right to stay at home. I have to come. I threw away everything I had in my life to be here. Now, I have to remember that although I've seen... Actually, I don't think we ever finished watching it. I'm not entirely sure. I've seen someone else play this, so I gotta remember I'm not as far along as that person. People I loved were pushed aside just so I could enjoy my freedom of being here. My stupid, stupid freedom. So I will come here until I die, even after the bar closes, until my hair falls out. You're the one who looks like she's about to fall apart. Your eyes are red and swollen. Yeah, well, your hair is hairy. There we go, we'll put wrestling on. Yes, it is. Ah, who is the dipshit that changed the order of the glasses? It was me. I was the one washing dishes yesterday, remember? Oh, yeah, I was too busy staring at my crumbling life and all that. Why don't you go home, Jill? You're in no position to deal with people right now. Go home, rest a bit. My ex-girlfriend died, and I wasn't there to see her one last time. All because of a fight I spent all these years regretting and wishing to, but never actually apologizing for. My decision to assert my freedom and grab a hold of my life led me to this. A bartender strapped for cash that distanced herself from her loved ones for no other reason than selfishness. So I won't fucking leave. I threw all of that away to be here, so I will stay. This is what I wanted. This is why I left all of that behind. This is why. See, you're starting to sound like a broken record. Oh, leave her be. I'd rather have her here than be alone in her apartment. How are you feeling, Jill? Feel like shit-eating piece of shit. On the lowest of any possible life form you might find. Nanobes look down to me in disgust, knowing they're far superior. You're spirited? That's good. Where's the mutt? Working with Sierra. At Sierra. I know what I said. In any case, let Jill process her anger. It's perfectly normal to feel that way. And here, she's surrounded by people that care about her. That's a lot better than leaving her to fend for herself. I mean, as smart as 4 might be, he's still just a cat. Then why not have Jill stay, but not serve anyone today? What part of I won't leave didn't you understand? I didn't leave everyone behind to just sit and do nothing. Fine, fine. What do we do if she lashes out at a client? That's why you're here, Gillian. Pliskin. Who? Hey, Jill. What? I'll be in my office, but if you need a break or a hug, just tell me. Okay. How do I clear it again? You can remember by right-clicking it. Oh. There we go. That one? Everything will... There we go. Do, do, do. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Oh, you already put on music. Sigh, this is gonna be an interesting day. The Hall of Heroes keeps shining, brimming with the... Do I smell tacos? Wait, it's outside. Never mind. Oh, hell no. We meet again, bartender. Virgilio, what can I get you? Today, the luminous pollution on the streets makes it seem almost like the starry sky. And when I think about stars, I think about celebrities. Celebrities are fishy, and my favorite fish is octopus. So I want something octopus-like. Aren't you gonna do that weird bartending thing? I'm waiting for you to order like a decent human being. I'm not following. Spell out your order like you're a human who is not in need of medical help. Fine then, I want a sparkle star. S-P-A-R... Sparkle star. Sparkle. Sparkle for the... yeah. Two of these, and... Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And then we'll go the rest of this stuff. Let's make them drunk. Aged and mixed. See, was that hard? Have you tried to spell under pressure? You look angry, spelling bartender. Are you having that time of the month or something? No, I just filled with ridiculous amounts of anger, pain, and self-hate, and on second thought, you're not that far from the truth, I guess. I get those too, you know, periods. You do? Yes, last month I finally got over my renaissance. I moved to my enlightenment. And here I was thinking you'd get to say something serious for once. Are you implying I'm not serious? Glaring holes through me will do nothing. I'm glare immune. But if you allow me to give you a sincere piece of advice. Whatever, it's not like it'll help. You shouldn't kick yourself so much. If you keep it up, any chance of finally forgiving yourself will someday be gone. Self-hate will leave you with a hole that will never heal. So please take measure against it instead of sulking so much. I'll be damned. That actually sounded half sensible. And here I was, you thinking you were just a pompous lunatic. Hey, pompous lunatics have stories too. Really? What story? I would rather not tell. Figures. You want anything else? Have you ever seen how the... bad touch. Sorry. God, I'm like Luca Jin. I gotta laugh every time it says bad touch. For these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of these. 4 of these. And 8 of these. On the rocks. And mix. Here. Yeah, I guess this is the one. Maybe he's right and I shouldn't be so hard on myself. Even though I deserve every second of it. If only I had apologized earlier, I might not be feeling this way right now. If only I can't even remember what held me from apologizing all these years. Bartender, you're making a lot of faces there. Pride, fear, what kept me from going out, apologizing to Linor? I can't even fucking remember what feeling kept me from fixing this whole situation. Can't I at least find solace in whatever feeling it was that brought me to the situation? Great, now I'm feeling even worse thanks to not being able to muster whatever feeling I had held me. Is she okay? Hold on, I'm just gonna check something here. Here, I'm just gonna turn that down just a tad. No, but just leave her be for now. Hey, Jill! Huh? Hey? Oh, thank God, a normal person. What? A mummy? No, no, I don't have kids. Still more normal than this twat. How are you feeling, Say? My bones are still broken, but at least the cuts are healing nicely. Thank God I'm not someone that scars easily. I mean, wounds don't leave me marks. It'd be a problem if I couldn't get scar tissue. What happened to you? Fell off 2.5 stories into a trash pile and rubble? You look better, though. Last time you came, you looked like you were about to collapse emotionally. Heh, I guess. You're the one who looks like it now, though. How do I put it? It's like when I called you your full name, but magnified. Yeah, don't mind me too much. I'm in a bad mood. Anything I can do? Please forgive me if I suddenly lash out at you or anyone else. Do you want something? My tongue's not so sensitive today, so let's have a beer. And you? Such a change in tone. I'm fine, I don't need anything. Let's make a beer. Beer. Let's keep her not drunk. Will be nice. Because you don't want her in case she's still taking medication. Here. Yay, let's see if there are a difference from the canned ones. Big B? Yeah, I will make a big B. And? This one tastes less watered down. So did something happen to you? I'm fine. Nothing's happened to me. People who are fine don't act like that. Oh, I get it. You're in those days. When it's that time of the month, I get a bit sulky. No, I'm not on my period. No? I'm dealing with the loss of someone, okay? Oh. Sorry. Don't worry. Maybe I shouldn't have come today after all. No, maybe, are you alright? I'm trying to find something to say. Making a joke would be tasteless, and I can't say everything will be alright without sounding cheap. I'm at a loss of what to say here, sorry. Want to hear something weird? Exactly like that when Stella came here on Monday talking about you. Oh? Well, ladies, I'm leaving. Virgilio? Yeah? You were just sitting with a Valkyrie. Really? Splendid! This makes a good entry in my poems blog. I feel bad about the way I treated him today. Not for the fact that he was being cryptic with his orders for no good reason. Like Stella when she first came? Yeah, no, I mean... You could have given him a free beer or something and apologized. Yeah, I just keep messing things up with people. But you know, he seemed familiar. Familiar? Yeah, I can't put my finger on it though. I just feel like I've seen him somewhere. Oh well, might be just that he looks like someone from an ad or something. So what brings you here? I wanted to come with Stella, so I'm waiting for her. Why here? To be with you, of course. Hmm? That reminds me, how did Stella react when you arrived? She slapped me real hard. It hurt. She said that's for making me worried and not listening to me. And then she became happy. Huh? Can I ask whose loss you're dealing with? You shouldn't be bothered with it. Just pretend I'm in a bad mood and call it a day. Oh, okay. You really want to know, huh? I can't help it. I don't like seeing people sad. I just need to know context, not details. Someone to whom I said some mean things to passed away before I could ever see her again. Does that work? Yeah, sorry. Knowing I can't do anything helps me calm down a bit, but hey, I mean, it's not that I wouldn't help, I just calm down, I get it. I can't contain myself when I see people in need. But I've learned there are a lot of times when you just can't do anything. And that's kind of fine. Thank God I learned that, otherwise I would have gone insane ages ago. You're a good person, Say. Nah, I'm just an annoying girl. Still, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. I have broken bones, but that doesn't mean I can't offer emotional support. You could always order another drink. Oh yeah, that. Let's do that. Get me something cold, please. Alright. Something with ice. So... Let's see. No. Nope. 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 I'm looking for on the rocks with little. Excuse me. Okay, Mercury Blast. Moon Blast. There we go. We'll get her a big one of these. On the rocks and blended. It's pretty cold outside though. Yeah, but I don't like hot or warm drinks. They make me feel nauseous. You know what cheers me up? What? Singing. Hearing people singing helps too. Do you sing? I mean, did you take singing lessons or something? Nope. People have told me my voice is pretty nasty actually. But they've also told me I'm good with harmonica. So you play the harmonica? I needed something to do some breathing exercises with, and a harmonica is a lot smaller than tuba. And I guess if you practice enough, you become decent. That's something I didn't expect. I hear that a lot. I know I don't look like the musical type. I used to play the violin, right until I was 16 or so. Really? Can you still play? The violin's at my mom's house, so I don't have it with me. But I guess I could. It's one of those things you don't forget easily. Why did you stop? I don't know. One day I just felt like stopping. No deep reason behind it. Just like me and cooking. That and almost burning my place up. Huh? When's Stella coming? Now that you mention it, she's a bit late. Let me call her. You do that. I'm going to take my break. Tell Gail if you need anything else. Sure. Do 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 do. Save. Stella and Say make me a bit jealous. Back. Looks like you've calmed down. Still feel like kicking myself, make no mistake. But I guess I cooled down a bit. Yeah, I made it wrestling. There we go. Say helped a lot with that one, though. I just can't stay mad when I see her. Speaking of which, where is she? I believe she went outside to look for Stella Girl, or something. Stella! Oh, that's who's talking. The way you are right now, it feels like I should be protecting you. Hey, the only thing hindering me is the broken arm. I've gone into burning buildings with 2 centimeter cut. Yeah, I remember that one. 1 millimeter more and you would have lost the motor function in your arm. Welcome! Ah, hello, Jill. What's this about protecting who? Yeah, I'm sort of like Stella's unofficial bodyguard, but I'm not really fit for such duties right now. My father insists I go everywhere with protection, so most of the time I only ask Say if she feels like going out. She's trained to deal with the kind of things that bodyguards deal with anyway. And she's more fun to hang around with, too. So I'm assuming that gorilla outside is a bodyguard? That's Buster. Pretty cool guy. He played football professionally until he lost his leg in a demolition derby. We've offered him an implant surgery for all these years of service, but he rejects it every time. Well, he got used to the replacement he's using, so maybe it's for the best. It's a thick oak branch on a metal bowl tied to his stump. And yet he can still run faster than me with it. True. Do you want something? I'm fine right now. A brandini, a big one. I'm in a good mood. A brandini. Boop. So, wait. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6 of these. And 2 of these. Aged and mix. Here you go. After all these years, I still don't get why the finest and most expensive things come in small packages. Ever tried to go to a restaurant only for them to serve you a really small portion of some fine food? Sometimes you just want to stuff yourself with really cheap food. Say, let's go for some hamburgers later. I'm not taking a no for an answer. I know what you mean when you say some. You know. You might as well call the place and tell them to prepare everything in advance. So apparently Stella likes to eat. Can I ask you two something? Sure, I guess. How did you two meet? Stella showed up at the park I used to play in when I was a kid. We played a couple of times. She started showing up more and more, and that was it. My father told me that when I was 5, I kept insisting on going to a real kids' park. We drove for some time, and the park I liked was the one Say happened to be at. Have you ever seen a girl in a dress go to a muddy park? She learned her lesson and started showing up with more fitting clothes. But man, that's a scene I can't forget. So you two have known each other for most of your lives. I've known her longer than I've known my own father. Why the question? No reason. You two just look comfortable with each other. Any other person could have sworn you were an item. An item? What kind of item? A couple, Say. Oh, yeah, I get it now. That's funny because we actually earned a mock prize for sorts for best couple at Stella's high school. 3 years in a row. So you two didn't go to the same high school? No. Oh. Don't you have any childhood friends, Jill? Childhood friends? Can't think of any. My grandpa, I guess. What kind of man was he? Gruff, the kind to eat raw Bronson root every morning. But around me, he was different. I have memories of him barking orders to my dad only to turn around and play with me gently. It's interesting, though. He was my mom's dad, but after my mom and dad separated, he stayed with my dad. But yeah, he's the one that comes to mind when I think about childhood friends. Oh. Hey, Jill, what's this Bloom Light? A spicy drink. Tastes nice the first time, but it gets samey after a while. It's also brown for some reason. Give me one of those, please. I'll have one too. On it. 2 Bloom Lights. Bloom Lights. Alright, we'll do these regular. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 of you. 2 of you. And 3 of you. Aged rocks. Mix. Okay. 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Boop, boop, boop. Here you go. I don't know. I kind of like it. Yeah, but after the third one, it starts tasting like sand. Spicy sand, but sand nonetheless. You know, your grandpa reminds me a bit of Mr. Sirius. Who? My father. Stella Hoshi's father is Sirius Hoshi? He's all like, sell all the stock before the month ends, and we both know that's not the best price he can offer. Then he starts talking with Stella or me and becomes all soft-spoken and calm. Well, what did you expect? If he behaved like that during business meetings, they'd eat him alive. Oh yeah, you do that thing about behaving differently when in business meetings too. Really? Yeah, she acts like a shallow Sochi. Socialite? Socialite. Yeah, that thing. Care to elaborate? My father told me since I was very young to cultivate a shallow, dim-witted daddy's girl persona. They will lower their guard thinking you're just another rich daddy's girl. That's when we strike, he said. Everything about that's an act, except the daddy girl part. You're the biggest daddy's girl I've seen. Shut up. But yeah, Mr. Sirius is one of the nicest guys I've met, although Miss Carmine isn't too far behind. Go for the eyes, boo. Exactly. The eyes! Go for the eyes, boo! Miss Carmine's your mother. Yeah, disappointed her name isn't star-themed. No. I really owe it to big to her, though. She got my mom some really good clients. Good enough to let her semi-retire, even. Your mom isn't too far behind, though. Being a veterinarian requires quite thick skin. Well, she got bitten enough to develop one. You want anything else? I want a beer. You sure you can handle that? I'll be fine. I'll have a beer too, then. Sure. 2 beers. They do remind me of a couple. Because it's like... Did she? Yay! 1 beer. Now, if only we can get her to stream again. If it's who I think you're referring to. Yeah. Well, I know she doesn't have internet issues, or she's got internet issues. Yeah, Holly. Yeah. When she comes back, people, you gotta go check her out. Holly Huntress is a great streamer. She's an Aussie. She just doesn't have internet I guess she calls it proper internet right now. Because she's... where she lives doesn't have good quality internet. Or at all. Yeah. And for some reason, this has not popped up. There we go. You would think that would pop up. Sometimes I just have to get it going again. Yeah, there we go. That should work. So that name at the top of the follow list, that is the one that keeps coming into my chat and just following and then disappearing. And I know that that's the same one I keep finding and that I've just been like banning. Here, cheers! God, maybe we should leave. Hey, wake up! Bars aren't a place to sleep. Buster, get to stay in the car. We're out, Jill. Please come again. Feeling better? No, I just don't reek of rage. But I still feel like a piece of shit. Little steps, I guess. Hello! Ah, Kim, welcome! Kim. Who's Kim? I don't remember Kim. Who is she? Is she the one that works for the Augmented Eye? I want to say she is. It's been so long that I've played this, I was just like, oh my god. I was afraid I'd mix up the directions and end up in someone's house or something. What can I get you? I'll have a sunshine cloud, please. Sure. Sunshine cloud. We'll make her a big one. Let's make her a big one. I mean, I could spend probably the entire time to trying to get everybody drunk, but... No, not aged. Blended. Shake, 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 shake your booty. There he goes. Haha. Here you go. Thanks. So, how's work at the web paper? Oh, I quit. What? Yep, I went to the office of that chauvinistic horseblower and I told him I quit. Why'd you do that? I arrived early to my meeting and got some assignment. I spent hours doing it only for the other bitches to come and ruin it. After that, I didn't have time left, so my supervisor scolded me. So I snapped and quit on a whim. Oh. Don't you have any second thoughts, regrets, nothing? I guess you'll always have second thoughts. Even if you do what you want, you'll still think, what if? Even so, I was getting physically sick there. I dreaded the arrival of every morning. I even almost... what I'm saying is, I don't know what I'll do, but I'm certainly better than being there. I feel free. Free? It's a wonderful feeling, you know? I feel like I can find something I care about. I won't return to the augmented eye, but I could still pursue journalism and with another outlet. I haven't felt like this in, well, never. What about your family? They weren't happy, that's for sure. My dad took it better, but my mom freaked out, to put it mildly. What are you gonna do and all that? But I'm not here about that. Give me a big drink, please. What kind? I don't know, bubbly or something. Big and bubbly. Bubbly drinks. Beer, frothy water, cobalt velvet. She seems more of a cobalt velvet kind of guy. Okay, kind of gal. So she wants a big one. So, doot, 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 doot. And 10 of these. On the rocks and mix. Here you go. If detergent commercials are to be believed, this will clean out my insides. It'll also kill things inside you. I gotta ask though, how did you end up working there? No deep reason. That's what I did when I got out of high school. Taking a year off was out of the question, so I went for the first thing I thought about. But I couldn't get into the robotics course, so I settled for journalism. To be honest, I got tired of the job midway through it, but I couldn't bring myself to leave. Too much pressure from my family. It's really common tale, I guess. Did you have troubles like that? Same story as you. I just went through the motions. From high school to college, I never stopped to think about what I was doing. And then at some point, I just felt like my life slipped through my fingers. Suddenly, all I wanted was freedom and a little pause, to stop and take a breather. And my life went to hell for that fucking breather. Hey, give me, something. Something? Sorry, I just have a dry mouth. Anything will do. Alright, just for, something literally. Let's go with, hello? Okay, how do I... Ah! Here you go. Thanks. I feel like I asked something I shouldn't have. Don't fret about it. I'm just in a rough spot right now. What are you gonna do now? Honestly, I don't know. I do feel liberated though. Like, I can do whatever I want, study whatever I like, work wherever I want. I know it's not that way and I won't be easy, but I feel like a lot more confident than when I was out of high school. I honestly don't get why they put young people who barely know how society works through that one. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Hmm? Sorry, I just got a text. Your mental health should be your priority and all that. Thanks, I really needed the encouragement. Come back if you need more encouragement. I wouldn't dare leave someone alone when it comes to that sort of thing. Thanks. Bye, Jill. Please come again. You should take some of that advice for yourself. I know, I know. How many of us have said that? Have done that and just, like, completely should be taking our own advice, but we don't. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button! Yeah, I don't know how many times I've given advice out at work and sat there thinking afterwards I really should take my own advice. Let's call it a day for now. You need some rest. Yeah, Dorothy. Honey! Dorothy, sorry, we're just closing. I know, I came for you. Wait, what? For me? Why are you hugging me? I paid her to do that. All night long. Oh, God. Come again? She probably would. To put it simply, Dorothy will go home with you and she won't leave your side. What did you hope to accomplish with that? Well, at first it was to calm that rage you had earlier. It was either hugs or a cold bucket. And I don't promise there'll be any water in it. You calmed down a bit, but honestly, I know better than to leave you alone for another night. At the very least, all the cuddling will give you an epiphany or something. That's some alien reasoning right there. It's not. You need hugs. Many. You need some humanoid contact right now. You had your alone time. Now, we're playing by my rules. Please take care of me. Right, Dorothy's the bot-ish thing. Total earnings 27,270. Drinks total 1,530. No mistakes. Commission 30%. Today's payment 459. Tips 450. Flawless service bonus 500. Treat yourself. Buy something nice for you and Dorothy 500. Total transfer 1909. Okay, Jill bought what she wanted and she's pleased with herself. She was surely focused at work. Wait, what? I bought something? Who's that, Lilum? A very good friend. Danger you. Dangerous opinions. Monster girlfriend, Sharari. AM Township 64. Alright, let's do this one. Hype! Literally no games. Has anyone else tried one of these Monster Girl meme? No, no, no. I'm going to marry a Monster Girl. I just want actual gameplay next time. Why would you want gameplay in a Sukuben game? I don't know. All I see is pretty girls with nothing to back it up. Any info on hardware? It's probably going to be yet another unpowered piece of shit. It's not like the competition is any better. Meh. I think I'll just quit gaming. Nothing but trash as of late. Yeah. Remember when games were actually good and devs made them with love and care? Me neither. That was that one, right? Nope. That was that one. Yeah. McKinsey releasing EKDV 186 update. Is this the greatest thing to ever grace planet Earth? I literally can't stop touching myself. Such high quality release. But why is the camo blurry? I think it's the regulations for the civilian models. Something's off. I'd be all over this normally, but I can't seem to get excited over this. Your shit taste is showing. Nah, I just think I'm kind of I'm kind of tired of the same thing over and over. That's what happens when you consume way too much fucking military equipment and weapons. Yeah, I think that's it. I better stop buying so many weapons already, or I'll never find pleasure in them again. Any word on the camo stuff for other civilian weaponry? They said they were going to announce more stuff on a later date. I like porn, you guys. Okay. Monster Girl Sharari. I can't stop playing this game. Gorgeous graphics, innovative and addictive battle system, fun dating minigames, cute girls, the fucking music. Is this the goat? Don't know. Do you like the goat girl? Heh. I'm gonna marry a goat. It's an alright game. 8 out of 10 at most. Shit game. No, it's shitty. It's a shitty game for idiots, waifu bots like you. I wish this waifu bad game meme would die. It's a stupid game pandering to idiots. What's there to discuss? Are we being rated by normies? Normies. Fuck off. Fun things are fun. You're not allowed to have fun with video games. Wait, what? The augmented eye. Quincy studies the possibilities of allowing imports. Glitch City is one of the few places on Earth that's strictly self-sufficient, with its import rate of only 0.8%. However, that might change due to recent shortages across the city. And I did not bother. My god. Ha, here we go. I always forget the comments. Gonna buy one? Depends on the library. Invisible guns? I think they'll use it for cute patterns. Sounds fun. It's for nerds. However, that might change due to recent shortages across the city. Prime Minister Quincy revealed this morning that the government plans to have a more relaxed policy for our importers. We won't lift the current currency control, but we can provide them foreign currency at a low fixed rate. That way, we can secure essential items at affordable prices, Quincy told AE. Some experts say that private companies are no longer working at full capacity, which is unsurprising news given that Quincy government has seized most of them, resulting in the shortage crisis in the first place. So he decided not to steal all the city's funds. Good. Is Kiramiki the biggest pop idol in history? The world at large is still coming to terms with the idea of a Lilim being so quickly integrated into our society. Some say they can't be treated as human because they're mortal and such. Cannot really understand what it's like to be alive. But most of the Kiramiki fandom would disagree. Anti-Lilim people are insane. To me, Mickey shows more about life than I do. Knows more about life than I do. And I'm older than this damn city, Richard Show 55 told the Augmented Eye during a fan gathering. I'm with Richard, added Nacho 6. I may be a dog, but I'm utterly fascinated with the way she writes about things in her blog. She's impressed by everything, and nobody really knows what life's about anyway. Nacho, dog, don't tell me. Lilim receiving mysterious messages. Halloween was back in October, but this terrifying tale didn't become popular till now. Reports say that Lilim across the city have been receiving strange transmissions with messages that are confusing at best, threatening at worst. The contents are not clear, as most of the Lilim can't remember exactly what they had heard. But the most mysterious thing of all is perhaps the fact that the Lilim could not record any of these messages while they were broadcasted. It was almost as if something had blocked the Lilim from doing so. While we have nothing but anecdotal proof, even among our own Lilim, the mystery behind these messages is one we should be paying attention to. Spooky, or a bluff. Alright, let's just save it. Okay. My little Christmas tree. And off to work I go. Friday, December 23rd. Good evening. Let's put something else on. Let's see. Yeah, whatever that is. Ah, hey. How are you feeling? Lilim are soft and warm. Come again? You heard me. So, on a scale from steaming pile of shit to just sad, where are you? A sad pile of shit. Still hate myself. But I'm still sad as hell, but how to put it, the noise stopped? I don't know if I explained myself. Sorta, kinda. So, how are things last night? Cozy, I must admit. I can't believe you paid Dorothy for that. Well, if you want to call that payment, I guess. Huh? I called Dorothy to tell her what happened to you, and she was really concerned. She stuttered for a second, saying that she had the whole night to go, and she couldn't just leave for free. I asked her how much, and she said enough to pay for the soda I'm having is fine. A soda. How did you get her number? I have contacts. Right. Anyways, Jill, if you need a second break, a drink, or a hug, just let me know. You hear? Thanks. I'd make you the same offer, but I'm guessing hugs from me are the last thing you want. If you need a bartender, let me know, though. Nice to know. Anyways, we have work to do. I'm just gonna keep the music the way it is. Time to mix drinks and change lives. So nice to hear that again. Did you say something? Did I? Welcome to Oh, it's you. Hey, be more respectful. I brought my boss here. Aren't you a part-timer here or something? My other boss. You're talking to the great Nacho Tumbleweed Jr. Boss, I'm taking a break. I know what I said earlier, but you haven't even started yet. Shit. So, what brings you here today? I wanted to see the place my best soldier is working at. Soldier? Wait, aren't you the dog I served last Monday? Huh? Oh, it's you, Dana. Soldier, why didn't you tell me you were working for Dana? No, that's not Dana. That's just Jay. So I'm guessing you're part of this whole Sierra thing. Part of it? I founded it. Humans have the best intentions, but they just don't get us. So I decided to create a place where dogs can be dogs. Here we can take any dog without a place in the world. We created our own heaven on earth. And you take corgis only? Do I look like one of those cipher bitches? Of course not. I'd include other animals, but sadly I can only take care of those who are the same species as I. Sad thing is, I take him more seriously, but it's a talking corgi with an eye patch. Will you get anything? I'm fine. What about you, boss? Manly stuff. You're sure? Did I stutter? Alright. A manly drink for the dog. Maybe I should just give him something bitter. Manly drink. Pile driver. Suplex. No. Mars Blast. Or Crevice Spike. I'm thinking Mars Blast. Yeah. Alright. Let's make it a big one. Can we get a dog drunk? Is it even possible? Ah! All blended. Okay, 6 Bronson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's what I screwed up on. I can count, really, folks. I really can. Not. Yeah, yeah. Hello. Wait, you can't do a big one? I thought you could. So you can't do a big one of a Mars Blast. Here you go. Yes, this is just what I wanted. Blah, this tastes worse than my own butt. Hey, you asked for it. This is a really nice place, you know. You picked a good place to work at, soldier. Thanks! Does he really get paid? Your efforts to keep Syria afloat will not go to waste. We'll make her better and better. I mean, we're pretty much on the verge of closing. Can boss really afford that? We have more urgent matters at hand, though. Like the fact that we don't have enough balls for everyone. Can't they just share the ones we have? You fool! Every dog has a right to his own ball. If we can't provide even that, then what's the point of even trying? Wait, don't tell me she just doesn't give a fuck and is spending all of her money like water. I mean, what with the bar closing and all that? But many have enjoyed the boxes more than they do the balls. That's a good point. What do you think is cheaper, a box of balls or a box of boxes? Are there boxes of boxes? Of course there are. How do you think they ship boxes? This is actually true. Tied together? Tied together? Don't be silly. Unless she's paying him straight from her pocket. Boss is that kind of woman. This world is filled with all sorts of recursive madness. Recursive, not recursive. You know. Doctors consult doctors, boxes come in boxes, bottles come in bottles. Ooh, as expected from you, boss. Wait, that theory only works assuming she's actually paying him with money. For all I know, she might be paying him with steaks. So tomorrow, you're gonna check if for people selling boxes, you hear? Sir, yes, sir! Except that to boss, a good steak is more valuable than money. Wait, what if they come with foil? Russenstrauss had to be taken to the vet because he ate the foil a piece of cheese came in. Curses, you're right. We need a contingency plan. Besides, boss is not one to scam people, let alone a dog. I wonder if we can strike a deal with the vet those safer bastards have. She's always so nice with us. I know. Her smile is so cute, too. So it's better than we vet for a vet? Yes, put that on the list. Ah, Nacho. Oh yeah, I forgot she knew the dog. Are you staying for a while? I was just passing by. I got some errands to run. Great. Gil can go with you. I can? You will. I'll still get paid for today, right? That depends on Nacho's evaluation. Alright, Greenhorn, let's get going. Oh, I'm paying him anyways. By the way, just wanted to mess around with him. No, that's not the problem here. Why make him do that? Gil looked like he needed to take a good break. And he's the kind to just not accept such a thing. But with Nacho, he'd have something to do. And he'd be away from the bar for a bit. When you put it that way. Anyway, I'm going back to my office. Your boss sure is nice. Glad I'm working with her too. Yeah, so you having anything? Actually, I'm just gonna go sit over there and be on standby. Await orders. Okay. Shit, I missed a chance to ask him. How or if he gets paid with money. Man, I sure need to get wasted. I fail to see how getting wasted will make you feel bad. Shiba! For fuck's sake, you piece of scrap. We just got out of a building full of dogs. But this one has a Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses. Hey there, robot. Any dogs? Welcome to Valhalla. Hey, Jill. Get me a beer, will you? Gotcha. Does Deal want anything? Deal? Okay, roll. Sir, yes, sir. So cute. He's fine. Just a beer, then. Friday after work isn't just a beer. It's the beer. Can't argue with that. Beer for Betty. I can make it a big one for the heck of it. Yes, yes, I will. Getting her drunk is hilarious. Wait, I'm counting, I'm really counting. Okay, all mixed. Here, let's make it special. Yeah! Cheers! Hey Jill, do you like beer? The amount of beer cans in my apartment is becoming a problem, actually. I had this friend back in high school who made some pretty nice crafts with them. I'm still in contact with him if you're interested. No thanks. The last thing I need right now is more crap taking space. So how are things at Dogtown? Well, that Laurel girl is stirring things up, for better or worse. For worse? She's, like a rabbit. An overtly politically correct rabbit. Rabbit? Never had a pet rabbit? They're a nervous mess when that gets startled over the little things. And this girl is on the constant lookout, scared of saying something that might irk someone. It doesn't have to be a person she's speaking with even. It's no problem in the company. But the other day we went out together and holy shit, poor girl can't speak properly. She pauses every sentence to make sure she doesn't say something offensive. She's a nice girl, and it's sweet that she tries so hard not to offend anyone. But seriously, she tries too hard. You don't help either. You randomly yell, "What did you say?" whenever she's within earshot of distance. Yeah, well, it's just that she looks so cute when she's startled. Like a rabbit. It raises up the question of whether she's really like that. Or if you're the one making her wary of anything she says. Well, why don't we test that? How? You go out with her. Why? To test if she's really me who makes her like that. It's not like you can say no, you know. I mean, it's my honor that's on the line here. I want to prove you're only talking shit about me. Even if you were right, you have quite the fixation on that girl. She's fun. Fun how? She actually reacts when I tease her. You take it in your stride, but she's actually gets startled, squirms, and then gets uncomfortable. How is it any good? She's cute and her reactions are cute. But if you keep it up, she'll either leave or get used to you. You know, like me. Shit, you're right. I must save my teasing for when the moment is just right then. No, that's not the problem. It is for me. And what are you doing here? What about the dog? He said he had to go out. By the way, he said his name was... Say this, Laura girl. Do you guys get along? I wouldn't know. We get along as co-workers at the very least. What kind of girl is she, aside from the whole politically correct rabbit thing? Slow. She's the kind that does things so carefully that she does them really, really slowly. Huh. Really, really slowly. I can't deny that when she's actually finished the stuff, she does a great job. But it's unnerving. She doesn't actually have to be with us in the building, though. She's more like a freelancer. Why is she there, then? Because she likes dogs. And that's why I insist that you two would make a fine couple. That's a really superficial statement. It's like saying you'd be fine with someone because you're both women. Okay, bad example. May I say something? By all means. If that Laura girl is really as bland as you claim her to be, why wouldn't she be better off with more assertive person, Lillian? A more assertive partner? Yo, piece of scrap. She's totally calling you a pussy. She's right, though. Sharing interests and being compatible is totally different things. But then you'd be underestimating the power of love. Whether you want to admit it or not, love changes people for better or for worse. Who knows, maybe you'll become more assertive after spending time with her. Or she'll drive me nuts. I guess that's a possibility, too. Still, why are you so insistent on me and her getting together? Because she's like a cute rabbit, so someone might try and eat her out there. It'd be a lot easier to keep her in my sight. So, in short, your motherly instincts arose because of Laura. Why not see if she likes you, and... You already tried to hit on her, didn't you? You make me sound like some skirt chaser. She's not into girls. How did you find out? I asked her directly. Of course you did. She seemed, giddy afterwards, though. I heard her muttering something about meeting her first lesbian. It was weird. Okay, enough Laura for a night. Refrain from using any "that's what you said last night" jokes, or variations thereof, please. Party pooper. Let's get a drink then. Sounds good. I'll have a bloom light, please. Get me a fringe weaver. Alright. A bloom light. and a Fringe Reaver. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 of you, 4 of you, and 6 of you. All on the rocks, aged, and mixed. That's a bloom light. And Fringe. Yes. I know we can make this one big. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Aged. And mix. Here you go. I wonder why it's called a bloom light. Seems it was first developed at some video game event. The creator said something about making the attendees feel like their customers do. Said attendees were, of course, part of a some big games company. Seems that company always used too much bloom lighting, so the bartender there literally made them drink all the bloom. So it's not called that because it glows in the dark? Not this one, no. Come to think of it, did you ever change because of a relationship, Jill? In more ways than one, I guess. Would you say for better or worse? I guess for the better. I'm too thick-headed to develop any new bad habits. Although thanks to my first boyfriend, I did pick up a very annoying habit of correcting people's grammar on the fly. Pretty annoying when I think back on it. So you're one of those kind of people. As for me, sometimes I think I become more, what's the word? Cynical, jaded, bitter, tired of the crap this world and everyone in it throws on a daily basis. Hey! I'm just quoting you. But yeah. I think I became all that because of this one girlfriend I had in college. She got me into the whole activism thing in the first place. How was that bad? We'd all go and protest. We'd start all kinds of movements to see things change. I really got into the whole thing. But whenever I wanted to get more serious, I'd find myself coming up against a wall. That wall is an analogy for the fact that not everyone is willing to go that far. I found out pretty fast that most of them were in the whole thing because of some shitty fad, and not because they actually believed in whatever movement they were championing. So I moved from group to group only to find people who were in it because of a fad. And when they were not in it because of a passing fad, they were of the dangerous extremist kind. My tolerance for people's shit was greatly diminished after that. So it wasn't so much the person you had a relationship, but rather people. Seriously never thought about it that way. You need to stop putting the blame for what you do on past relationships. Whatever. Where's the other guy, by the way? He had to escort one of the dogs outside. Figures. Oh yeah, the one that was here asked if you were the nice vet lady that works at the Safer Toy Company. I suppose he's interested in talking to you or something. Why didn't he do it then? I don't know. You've been doing a few jobs on the side, haven't you? The pay from the dogs isn't enough to keep up with the mounting debts. I don't know how you do it. It's hard to believe dogs pay you at all. But this is coming from someone working in a place that pays a dog for doing fuck all. Or at least I think we're paying him. I'm not completely certain we do. Will you get anything else? Well, we're fine, but we have to get up in the morning early tomorrow, and by we, I really mean her. She got invited to a picnic, and I won't stand to hear another had to go to a picnic with a hangover story. Fine. Let's go then. See you, Jill. Bye. Please come again. Man, you're such a party pooper. You'll be the party pooper tomorrow if you keep drinking. Boss, I'll take my break. Call me if someone comes in. Alright. Darn, I was hoping to get her drunk. Save! It is now safe to keep playing. No dogs in sight. Hello? Why did that channel not work? There we go. Okay, back to work. Welcome to Vela. Oh, hey there, Alma. She seems down. Maybe there's something I can give her to cheer her up. Oh my god, it's been so long. What is she like? She likes the Brantinis, right? Classy drinks. Classy. Classy. Not classic? Okay. Yeah, Brantini. Okay, we gotta do this big. 12. 6 of you. And 2 of you. Aged and mixed. We gotta get somebody drunk this session. Hey. Oof. Oh, hold on a sec. I just gotta do something here. Nope. I wanna go here. And I wanna go here. And boop. Can I do that from here? Boop, boop. Okay. And this? It's on me. Drink, so you at least change your expression. I not just say you're worried about me. You got the message anyway, didn't you? So, how is it? A Brantini, so you do pay attention to what I ask for. Hey, I was right! Yay! You have quite the fixation with Brantinis. To be honest, that suits you. Hey, you want to hear a silly story? Always. When I turned 21, my dad and I went to a bar to celebrate. Just him and I. He told me to dress well enough that he looked like my sugar daddy. It was a fun night. We pretended at times we were dating. I managed to blow off some steam about my mom. But the highlight was him ordering a Brantini for me. I've had a plenty of drinks and gotten wasted many times since I was 15, but that drink was different. It wasn't about getting drunk. The drink itself was the pleasure. He was too sad they suited me somehow. Or he too said. Oh? Ever since that day, he called me Brantini girl from time to time. Your dad sounds like a cool guy. You should meet him sometime. So why are you deflating? Deflating? Well, when I got sad and started sighing repeatedly, my grandpa would warn me that I would start deflating like an old tire if I kept it up. So what is it? Was it the news about people dressing in bunny suits after the whole Alice Rabbit boom? Nah, that's old news. I mean, it is a problem, but such a thing would only annoy me. Say, Jill, how's your mood right now? I want to ruin it by blowing off all my stored steam. Silly Alma. I've been feeling utter shit the last couple of days. You can't make me feel worse. So, go ahead, unwind all your worries on me. Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, so, remember my sister Diana? The one that separated from her husband and forgot her kids, well, fucking her way around or something? Perfect summary. I'll use it next time. I didn't tell you the whole story then. More specifically, that she threw her husband out after months of abuse. Oh? However, that woman is incapable of getting a job and maintaining herself. And I mean that. She never even thinks about selling some stuff or trying to earn her bread. She just expects a guy to do it all for her. I have no idea why she turned out like that. Both my mom and dad were hard workers. They even started a small shop to have something to do after retirement. Huh. So what does this fully capable woman do for a couple of weeks later? Why, bringing her abusive husband back, of course. What? Yeah, and the guy spent a couple of days with her before leaving her again. He had a nice couple of hot, steamy nights and then left. Well, huh? You reacted like my little brother and sister after hearing that. But the story doesn't end there. Oh no. So she's broke, can't even get enough for a bus. Even though she'd probably be glad to sell her ass just to get money. And it was up to me to pick her up. For the last couple of days, she left her kids with my parents. And being such sweet angels, they've made a mess out of the whole place. Bernardo and Eva are actually staying with me a couple of days to give them some peace. It doesn't help that I never got along with Diana. So, we're in the car and she asks how her kids are. And of course, after all the built-up tension, I just exploded. First, I started ranting about how her kids are growing up seeing some messed up stuff. I start scolding her about not taking responsibility, about not taking proper care of her children. I tell her that she's in no place to have all those escapades. And after all that, she just says, "What the hell do you know? You don't even have kids." Yeah, you slutty skank, I don't have kids, but I'm not broke just because I refuse to take a job. I don't have kids, but I'm not leaving them in the first barely familiar house I find. I don't have kids, but I'm not letting the guy that hit me on a regular basis back in my bed. I don't have kids, but I pretty much raised Eva and Bernardo, and they've turned out pretty damn well. I don't have any kids, but I'm not cheap whore. I'm not screaming that, sorry. Ah. I so don't have the throat for that right now. Damn. I don't know what to say. There's nothing to say. I love my family and I put them above all else. But Diana is seriously pushing the boundaries of what I can allow. Any way I could help? You just did. Huh? I know who I'm dealing with. I'm not one to let stuff like that get to me. I'm still angry as hell, though. And I couldn't just discuss this with any of my family members. I can't tell my mom your daughter is a slut. I just needed to get all of this off my chest, you know? I don't remember any of this in the watch that I did. That I watched. The series I watched. I don't know if you remember, San, but I don't. Well, from what I see, there's still a lot more to get off your chest. That's swollen as fuck. Nah, all you see here is filled with love and dreams. Is everyone in your family as busty as you? The worst offender is my dad, actually. Kidding! Kidding! I guess the only one that didn't get the big boobs gene was Eva. She insists on getting surgery or genetic treatment, but I tell her she's fine the way she is. These can actually be more of a hassle than a blessing. And poor Bernardo, his breast actually started growing when he was 8. I just hope I don't take too much from my mother's side of the family. Oh my goodness. Really? Poor Bernardo. I'm hoping he's the boy. If he's got breasts... that might be... he might be in for a problem growing up. Unless he enjoys them. Then there's been another whole situation. Did she? I don't remember it. Actually, I don't remember a lot of this. I remember some bits and pieces, but... my father's sister still looks quite young. But when menopause hit, my mom lost her looks rather quickly. Any good genes you got from your family, Jill? Good enough skin and hair, I guess. There's a thing about a shrimp allergy, but so far I haven't had problems with that. Oh, I see. Hey, you know what worries me more about the whole Diana situation? How your nephews are turning out? Wait, they're both nephews? Eva and... if she leaves them with my mom, they'll turn out better than her, somehow. Actually, what worries me is, what if I end up like that, too? How so? If I find a good man and I settle down, what if he turns out shitty? What if I have a sudden burst where I want to live my life and end up like that? What if I have kids and end up neglecting them because of all of that? If you ask me, the fact that you're even worried about it is an indication enough that you'll be fine. You think? I'm pretty sure. You said before that she's pretty much married the guy after a couple of months, right? Yeah. No offense, but those are the kind of people who wouldn't even think about all that. Besides, if any guy ends up marrying you, it's because he's past your irrational standards. Hey! Am I lying? No, but there are things best kept as unspoken truths. I wonder if I'll ever find a good guy. You will. You'll know when the time comes. I sure hope so. For now, the time has come to get another drink. What can I get you? Give me something with ice, but alcoholic, please. Alrighty. Ice and alcohol. Can I just, like, start by... let's see... well, that's got some alcohol. Ooh, you know, actually... oh, it's not on the rocks. Darn. Okay. So, we need something on the rocks. That one's on the rocks. Although she does like the bad touch, and I can make it big. Let's make it big. We'll make it really big. It's too bad you can't make it bigger than it, like a big. Not a ginormous one. On the rocks. And mix. Here you go. Thanks. I needed to cool down a bit. That's why I'm here. So, you said you felt shitty the last couple of days. Why? Don't think too much about it. Oh, come on. You heard my problems. I want to help you too. Don't worry too much. Right. I almost forgot to tell you something. What is it? My boss is throwing a mega Christmas party this Sunday. You want to come? Sure. Something tells me this mega Christmas is going to be a mess at my parents' house. So, I'd rather avoid it. Are you guys getting chicken? I can get one. To be honest, I wouldn't know. You can bring it if you want. It won't go to waste. Gotcha. Say, Jill, what's your favorite part of the chicken? Favorite part? I guess I like legs most. Really? I like breast better. Breast is a bit too simple, don't you think? Legs have better texture. Maybe, but simple is usually better. Breast is easier to enjoy than legs. It's a lot less messy. Yeah, I guess so. You silly girls. Boss, they're talking about breasts and legs when everyone knows the best parts are the wings. Boss, what's that? Spicy chicken wings. Where did you get spicy chicken wings? Spicy chicken. You know, spicy chicken in the shop 2 blocks from here. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Why are you carrying a bucket of spicy chicken wings? Why aren't you carrying a bucket of spicy chicken wings? Well, because, it's not as much. Yo, Armitage. Elma. I know what I said. Will the chicken you're talking about be cooked already? You might need to heat it up. But it'd be cooked otherwise. Great. I expect you here Sunday at 8 p.m. Thanks. Anyway, I'll be back to my office. She left the bucket. Want some? Don't mind if I do. Oh, mild spice. Nice. Weird. Maybe she got a mixed up order and that's why she left them here. She usually orders stronger stuff. I found buckets that make my throat itch just from being near them. Oh. Say, Jill, what kind of guys do you like? That's a sudden question. I'm not too picky with guys, to be honest. I want them to be decent, though. Not jealous, not aggressive. Responsible enough to keep a job. That's no good. Do you like them buff? What about tall? No tattoos or piercings, I guess. Never liked either. What about you? I like them well-dressed. If they go in iron shirts and well-coordinated clothes, they're sure to catch my eye. Some muscle is always fine too, but sharply dressed males catch my attention faster. And yet you're still single. That's how I like my men. My potential husband, on the other hand, is another matter completely. I see. So, can you get me a drink here? The spicy wings turned out to be spicy. What do I get you? Anything as long as it helps me with the spiciness in my mouth. Okay, let's give her something to help with the spiciness of the chicken. Let's do a sweet then, because you don't want to do sour or bubbly. Definitely not bubbly. Sugar rush. Piano? Yeah, we'll do a piano woman. 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think I can go any bigger. Aged and mixed. Here you go. Phew, that helped. Thanks. Alright, so next question. What kind of girl do you like? Ah! You first. Sorry, I don't swing that way. Sure, I have no qualms about saying a girl is cute or cool, but nope, I prefer men in my bed. Now you. Shit, just calm down. I guess I like girls with light-colored hair. Light-colored hair? Yeah, you know, like redheads and such. What about white? Like your boss? You were just setting me up for that comment, weren't you? Sorry, it's just that when she got here with the bucket of chickens, your eyes pretty much started sparkling. Your whole behavior transformed. You became giddy and cheerful all of a sudden. Huh? Hey, I can't blame you. She's pretty nice. I just felt like teasing you. So, light-colored hair. What about blondes? Do you like me? Yeah, I guess. Let's say I'm into girls too, and I'm starting to hit on you. Would you go along with it? Nice body, pretty face, good apartment. I wouldn't ever let you go. Okay then, enough tangents. Why don't you tell me why you're feeling shitty these last days? What? Oh, that. I told you not to think too much about it. And I told you I want to know. Come on, Jill. You've heard my problems so many times, now I want to help you. Come on, come here. Huh? I told you to sit here, come on. What? What do you... Alright, now. I'm the bartender and you're the client. Hardly. The bartending station only works with me. I see. Okay then, I move this here. Ah! Click here and now it works for you, for me, and the dog in a Hawaiian shirt. What just happened? Did she just do her hacking thing, or was that like a bunny thing? Why with him too? He's a dog in a fucking Hawaiian shirt. Right, and how did you even manage to... Oh yeah, hacker, right. Now we've changed roles. You've been feeling shitty. Mind telling me why? It's a long story. I don't even know where to start. The beginning? Okay then. It's something that goes back to my college years. Whoa, that's taking it way back. Back in compulsory education, I never made too much of an effort, but I managed to get high grades, even in PE. I managed to do well enough to always get perfect grades. And then, of course, when I got to college, shit started getting hard. I had this perfectionist streak that wouldn't let me fail at anything. Burning my eyelashes studying, I eventually managed to keep up good grades. After about half of the career, I met a student teacher. Her name was Lenore. She helped me a lot with my studies. She even got me into stuff that gave me more credits. I really liked her, and after some time I found out she liked me too. Oh ho ho. We started going out. I met all of her family even. And, you want a drink? What? A drink. Around this time, there's usually a pause that makes you offer a drink to a client. There was no such pause. Please, I want to test this whole bartending interface. A sugar rush. You can't mess that up. Right. Jealous for a sugar rush. Now, how did this thing work again? Oh my god. I can just see. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I want more. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I screwed that up. 3, 4, 1, 2. Powdered delta, yep. And then the rest. Yeah. Here you go. Thanks. How is it? Like I said, you can't mess up a sugar rush. Huh. I have this gut feeling that with your body, you'd make a better bartender than me. You're selling yourself too short. You're cute, you know. People don't go to bars for cuteness, though. You're obviously never been to a cat bar, then. Besides, my boobs can be a hassle when trying to move around this kind of stuff. So, keep telling the story. Well, as the career went on and on, it got harder and harder. The last year and a half, it became nothing but study session after study session. Investigations, my thesis. When the graduation ceremony came, I had to make a speech, and suddenly, while reading said speech, I almost had a panic attack. Fear of public speaking? I realized I'd lost about a year and a half of my life. I tried to remember if I did anything fun at all, but all I could remember was studying and investigating new topics. I didn't even enjoy doing all that, so I was just standing there, and the satisfaction of graduating was minimal. I realized I had only gone through the motions, day after day, from high school to graduating. I felt like whole years of my life had slipped through my fingers. I never stopped to think if I enjoyed what I was doing. In fact, I never stopped. But at the point, I stopped, and I realized I needed a breather or something. Did I even think like that career? It was all terrifying as hell. I needed all of my strength to not start running like a panicked mess. So a couple months later, I got an offer to start working at this big research facility. Lenora was ecstatic. She was so proud of me back then. But I was just scared. That would be my job. I'd spend my life expanding on what I did during that year and a half. What if I had a sudden realization like the one I had at graduation, but when I turned 40? I didn't know what to do, but I sure as hell wasn't taking that offer. I told Lenora and she freaked out. She confessed that she was jealous because she never got such a chance. Oh, shoot. Before we continue, I will be right back, guys. Gotta do some medication for the cat. Okay. That one? There we go. We are back. I had to go find the kitty because the kitty was not where I saw him last. Okay, where was I? I guess you never got the chance. Things devolved pretty quickly. She said too many things, I said one too many things. In the end, I just stormed out of their house and broke a vase in the process. After that, I never spoke to her again. Damn. I'm sorry, I suddenly feel bad for pushing you to tell me all that. Why are you feeling shitty about that after all this time, though? Unless you've been feeling shitty all for years. Well, I have, but it's not just because of that. No? The other day, Lenore's sister, Gabrielle, came to the bar. Apparently, Lenore died last week. Localized nanomachine rejection, a heart attack. Apparently, she'd had it for a long time, but never told anyone. And coincidentally, it got worse after I left. And I just can't stop thinking about it, wondering if me being there would have made a difference. And if it's true she had that for a long time, why didn't she tell me she was sick when we were together? I don't know, I just feel like all kinds of failure. Jill. And to make it worse, I also lashed out at Gabby. Yes, she was blaming me for her sister's death and all, but she's just a kid, for fuck's sakes. She lost her sister, who pretty much raised her on her own. And to top it all off, I suddenly can't remember what stopped me from apologizing. Pride, fear, stupid effort to leave the most awesome person I loved as long as a thing of the past. Who cares? I lost my chance to apologize to her forever. Truly forever. I'm such a piece of shit. A selfish piece of shit. I honestly don't know what to say. I didn't expect the story to be this. Yo, boob tender. Yes? Can you get me a big beer here? Coming right up. Big beer, big beer, beer. What makes a beer big in this thing? Alma. It doesn't actually make it big. You have to make it big. Mixed. Woohoo! A big beer for Jill. Thanks. I need to remember to take care of the cans in my apartment. Do you drink lots of beer? One of the perks of BTC-issued liver implant is that I can drink lots of beer without getting too wasted. Ooh. Hey, Jill. What kind of girl was Lenore? Well, she was calm and smart. Back in college, I was too thick-headed and got riled up easily. Stress was my default state. So, just like you're behaving right now. Shut up, I was worse. Can't picture that. Don't, it's embarrassing. Anyway, she was always there, finding a way to cool me down. She was also able to hold conversations about pretty much any topic. One time I saw her going from talking about video games to talking about sports. All of that variety while still being a hardcore scientist. She would always push me into social interactions. If she saw me by myself, she would drag me with her. Watching people is fine, but talking to them is better, she would say. Lenore was always present, would always present me to her many acquaintances as the girl I don't mind cuddling it with for hours. Man, I'm gonna miss her. After a point, I didn't even think about getting back into a relationship with her, but she was such an awesome person, I just wanted to apologize. And now? You know, in a cruel twist of fate, irony, she's the one that made me pick up bartending. Oh? Back when I was thinking what the hell to do with my life, I remembered a night we spent in a club. She started talking about how drinks were synthesized, the chemistry involved, the reactions and all that. Everything sounded so fascinating. I remember saying that her talk made me want to start mixing drinks. She said, if everything else fails, why not take up bartending? Huh, interesting. Are you okay? For some value of okay? Yeah. It's just, I wanted to thank you, Alma. Thank me? I guess I just needed someone to tell all of this to, and you were the one. You volunteered yourself. You insisted on listening to me. You stood there listening to the whole thing from beginning to end. I know I might not be the most expressive person, that I'm not one to spout love and fluffiness, but I really like you. Maybe I'm just a bartender and you're just a client, but I really appreciate your friendship, or at least your patronage. Really enjoy working for you. Jill, are you dying? Shut up! I'm trying to have a heart-to-heart here. Sorry, it's weird for you to get so sappy. Well, I just realized that the saddest thing is how I'd never be able to make amends. And it hurts like fucking hell, you know? I never, and I mean never, want to feel that way again. I don't want someone to suddenly exit my life and have my last memory involve something nasty. I don't want the lingering grief of having burned a bridge on a whim. I want to avoid that at any cost. And if it means breaking character every once in a while, so be it. I'll let everyone know how I really feel about them. And if I ever fight with them, I'll swallow my pride and muster all the courage I can be and be the one to apologize. I hate feeling that it's hate it. That's a nice resolution. Maybe I'll be a copycat and do the same. Alright, enough sappiness. Get back here. I'm on duty, you know. Fine. It's almost closing time anyways. It was fun while it lasted, though. Hey. Yeah. I mean it, you know. Thanks for everything today. Silly Jill. You listen to my problems, I listen to yours. That's what friends are for, right? Right. I'll be leaving now. Oh, and before I forget, did you ever talk about all this with your parents? They know the basics, but I haven't told them about Lenore's death yet. Why don't you do that sometime? I don't know. I don't want to bother them with my problems. Don't be silly. They're your parents. They live to share your problems. You should try having a talk like this with them sometime. They'll appreciate it. Anyway, I'm out. See you on Sunday. Take care. That Elma girl sure is nice. Ah, boss, did you hear all that? Not all of it, but a good chunk at the very least. Your expression changed. A lot already. It did? You look happier. That's always good. Anyway, let's call it a day. I expect an even brighter Jill tomorrow. Right. Oh yeah, boss. About those chicken wings? Fucking idiots at the spicy chicken. Sorry, Dana, we won't have enough spices for your order until tomorrow, they said. Is that how they treat their regulars? Mom, I'll call him Manager Mumble. Boss? Drinks total $12.60, no mistakes, 30% commission, today's payment $378, tips $400, flawless service $500, cherished titty hacker, she's a good friend, $300. Okay. Your account was charged $8,000 as payment for your electricity bill. Have a nice day. How is my electricity bill? Like, am I running like everything all the time to be $8,000? Like, seriously. That gives her peace of mind and she'll focus on work. I have 2,000 left. Wow. Glam Slam Fighters, Monster Girlfriend. Okay, so I think this one we've read already. Yeah. Glam Slam Fighters. Is anyone into wrestling here? I became a huge fan of GSF recently. It's a really solid product, IMO. Much better than the E. I like the match quality, but I wish they give importance to mid-card. Are they still forcing 66 American into the main event? Yep. He's going to face Yusaki at the Dome Show. Ugh, why don't they push the great DK instead? He's much more talented than 66, because American Kid actually moves merch, unlike your indie darling. I want to marry Yusagi. Who's hyped for the women's championship? That one should be the main event, not the turd we're getting instead. 66 is pretty good, just watch some of his work in Japan. Everyone tells me 66 was better in Japan, but all I see is locks and arm bars. Nothing that impressive. Wrestling is fake. Amazing how I know all the words and yet I understand nothing. Amen, Jill. Amen. Model Warrior Jillian returns. This February. classic Magic Girl show, Model Warrior Julianne, is coming back to public television this February after almost 2 decades of absence. Even though the show has been on every on-demand service for a while now, most of Glitch City's citizens need to think twice before subscribing to any non-essential service, especially the lower classes who have been limited in number of internet purchases per year. The show's return is certainly welcome. Today's parents will finally be able to share a piece of their childhood with the kids without risking dinner or breakfast. Is that a tear in your eye? No. Nanomachine rejection has taken 80 lives this year. The Health Observatory just released their annual report of nanomachine rejection cases. The total number of reported cases has risen to 80, an increase from 65 cases reported last year. Nanomachine pollution was particularly strong this year due to the recent protests, wrote the observatory. Protests caused the police force to release new varieties of nanomachines. Their function is still unclear, but according to our sources, they're intended for crowd control purposes. It's unlikely we'll find a cure in the near future. And we can only hope cases like this will become rare in the following years. I wonder if she's among those 80. Update. Lilium receiving mysterious messages. It looks like we were able to record and transcribe one of the messages sent from one of the compromised signals. Joe Wren, an anchor from our popular TV newscast, served as our very own test subject for the investigation. White noise. Who are you? Are you really alive? Laughs. You're special to me. You're everything to me. It's time to become one. White noise intensifies. End of transmission. Developing. Spooky or made up story. Spooky. Alright, guys. Let's see if there's anything in the shop. Let's see. Cute clay houses. Maneko Neko. Okay. Kiramiki poster. Sorry, cartridges. There are games no collector wants. It's still nice for displaying. Alex figure from cult classic video game Yick. This beard grows in real time. Night of the ID Snatchers. Turing, not a sentient, but just as cute. It's a vintage gaming experience, all cumbersome load times as many as the paper lantern. Beer on discount. Yes, let's do that. Meet the staff. It's one of the scrap paper. Download code for the Meet the Staff's Herald. Banner. I want to get the Maneko Neko. And how much is this one? I mean, let's face it, video game people. Video games. Okay. Can't restore... Yeah, I know that already. Bill paid. Didn't you have a boyfriend named Bill? Ugh. Wrong button. Okay. That did save, right? Yes, okay. So we're gonna call it here, guys. It is 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We'll pick this up again next week. Because we're gonna get this game done. And we are... doesn't tell me what day it is. Saturday, it'll be December 24th, so Christmas Eve. So we'll pick this up then and continue on and see what happens. So thanks for hanging out, guys, and we will be back Monday for Minecraft. And you done? Can I exit the game? Yes. Let's see who's all out there. In the Never Never Land. Let's go raid Dunkstar. He's playing Project Zomboid. Raid Dunkstar. So thanks for hanging out, guys, and we'll catch you guys all next time. Laters!
So, okay. I mean, see, there's interesting things like that. I hung a sheet onto a door. I thought the font